This founder builds websites designed to turn visitors into clients. But when I visited his LinkedIn profile, I noticed something. His online presence was not communicating the quality of the business behind it. So I'm redesigning his entire LinkedIn from scratch. A new banner, a cleaner profile picture treatment, a LinkedIn title, and a completely redesigned featured section. This is the exact type of makeover that I would normally charge $500 for, but he has no idea I'm doing it. This is Jeffro, the founder of Frobro Web Technologies. Frobro helps service businesses turn underperforming websites into lead generation sales tools. Jeffro already has more than 6,000 LinkedIn followers, a strong offer, and a genuinely good story behind his business. I have also worked with him before, so I already understand his services, his audience, and the visual identity behind Frobro. But while the individual parts of his LinkedIn profile are good, they don't yet feel like one clear and connected personal brand. So for this redesign, every decision has to pass what I call the 3C profile framework: clarity, credibility, and conversion. First, can someone understand what he does, who he helps, and what results he creates within 5 seconds? Second, does his profile look as credible and established as the business behind it? And third, does it give the right visitor a clear next step? If a design decision doesn't improve one of those three things, it doesn't belong in the redesign. Let's start by looking at what his current profile is already doing well and where it could work harder. Alright, so if you look at his current profile, overall the way he positioned himself and the messages is very clear. Like, he provides custom websites for growing service businesses. And then if you read his about section, the story behind is like what he does, why he does it. It's a pretty good story. And then next feature section, he have two links, and one is for the full website audit, and then another is for the his podcast. So the first one is for the audience who already have a website but it's not converting. So if they want to find out what's wrong, what's problem in their current websites, so he offered that for free. And then the next is the Digit Dominance podcast, where he invited different guests and provide different insights about the niche and the the conversion and get hired and stuff like that. So yeah, if you look at his current overall profile, overall it's good, but visually they don't feel like connected to one brand, right? If you look at his banner, not so much thing going on, and the profile, and then the overall layout and the image treatment and the fonts individually they might make sense, but when you look at the whole picture at once, they feel like disconnected brands. And also the another big problem is custom ops is too big and a lot of things going on. If you go to this website called Preview My Profile, you can clearly see that when you visit his LinkedIn from the mobile phone, the banner is already cut it out. So overall, in this video, we are gonna completely redesign this entire profile from scratch, which means a new banner, new profile picture, updated title, and new featured sections. Let's go. So before we start designing, these are his new branding colors. Like, as I mentioned that I have worked with him before, these are his some of information that I know that he has rebranded. So for this redesign, we need to use these colors as his new updated visual branding color palette. And the way they use gradients is like how the orange yellow to the darker blue. So we need to use these gradients in this redesign. So to create a banner, first open up a Photoshop, click new file, and then make the width 1584, width and height is 396. Then click on artboard, and then I'm gonna go with the 16-bit colors, and the color profile mode I'm gonna go with the working sRGB, and then click on create. So this is the LinkedIn banner size. First I'm gonna bring the client's color palette, paste it, and then I'm gonna create a new swatch and then give it a name, Jeffro, and then okay, and then I'm just gonna go pick color tool and then add the colors, start adding the colors. One. Okay, so we have added the client's color into the swatches as a folder. Now we don't need this anymore. First, I'm gonna take the solid background color. I'm gonna go with this one. Next, I have his image one. This one, we need to bring his image, and then I'm just gonna set it up. Next, I'm gonna do some masking to make sure it's kind of blend. It kind of blend with the background, and not too much, just a little bit. So for the banner content, I did some research and I come up with this content. It is clearly says like not just only simple website, but strategy first websites that turn visitors into clients for growing service businesses. So it has the clear audience and then it has a clear exact type of services like he provides custom websites, local SEOs, and managed hosting, right? And then it has a clear next step where it redirects the audience what to do next, a good call to action, right? So I'm gonna go with this content for his banner. Then I'm gonna come to Photoshop and enter the text. And then I'm gonna highlight this word visitors into clients. Next, we need those services, which if this one is 50, I'm gonna kind of divide it into half. So I'm gonna go with 24 for these. So next I was thinking maybe we could add some logos for the more trust that the clients he have worked with him before. So I already have some of his logos. So if you go here and these are some of the clients that he have worked with, some of the websites that he built for these clients. So I'm gonna add these logos into that banner. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make the new kind of rectangle, this kind of line. From here, I'm gonna kind of make it alignment to make sure everything is aligned. So then I'm gonna just bring the logos. So next, I'm gonna write some words here, maybe like okay, so we have the layout ready. Here is the heading and then the services and then for the extra trust and then some of his clients' logos. So at this part, we're gonna do is first I'm gonna press Command and then click on this button to select this one. And then I'm gonna click on this rectangle layer and then I'm gonna press and hold Alt key and then click on the mask. So it's gonna kind of cut it out that one. So next what we're gonna do is we're gonna put some call to action and his logo, right? So next we're gonna use this call to action. I'm just gonna copy it. All right, so here we go. Here is the logo and then the call to action. I think I'm gonna put some kind of arrow here. So maybe we can just add one rectangle here to give that kind of balanced look. So now it looks more balanced. So overall the layout is ready. Now we need some background. And so I have this background. This kind of effect is called fracture glass. Now we need to change the color to match his brand styles. Next I have this kind of icons. So is this one is the same one. We're gonna make the opacity to maybe 20% and then I'm just gonna copy again this a little bit. So next I'm gonna put some mockup here, maybe the website mockup as you can see. So the original one was like this to give kind of feeling that there is something going on here. So I have already masked it out from here. Before was like this and then I have already used the brush tool. And then we need to make the opacity to make it 30% to kind of not too much, a little bit, but something is going on, but I don't want it to be distracted. So I kind of use the brush tool to make this area more highlighted, like visitors into clients. It looks more overall like premium. And then we're gonna select this one and I'm gonna apply a little bit drop shadow for that extra depth. So these both texts, I also applied a little bit shadows just for a little bit that pop up look. This one I'm gonna apply a little bit glow effect, outer glow. And this image I'm gonna apply drop shadow effect. And then behind this I'm gonna take some brush tool, use this color. I'm gonna kind of paint it like this. And then I'm gonna take a new layer, and then I'm gonna take this one and then something like this, and then so I'm gonna take this one and make it a little bit mask out, just from this side and from this side a little bit. Next, I'm gonna take a new layer and then draw a line here, kind of. So that's it. I think we are done with the banner. Now we need to move on to the next stage, and which is to redesign the two featured sections, these two, right? So, and I just realized that for this video, it's until now already been 1.5 hours, and for the sake of this video, I don't want to keep this video too long. So I'm gonna speed up a little bit, and then once I'm done, I would break down everything, like every decision, what I did and why I did it and how I did it. Make sure I'm also saving you time, and yeah.
Last time we talked, you had nothing to say. You chose to walk, give what we had away. I hope you get what you're looking for, but babe, with me, you close the door on everything we could have been. Don't go thinking we could be friends. No, you can't bring us back from the dead. 'Cause when you know, you know, and when you don't, when it ends, it ends. When it ends, it ends. I really thought we might have been it, so my heart was shattered when it took the hit. Oh,
All right, so we are done. So let's go through it quickly. So for the first feature, this is the first one, and so instead of just using the normal full audit website, so I changed the message to make it more like, here I just use the icon and then like the website audit. And then this is for the audience who already has the website, but they are not converting it, right? And they have the problem, but they don't know exactly what problem their current website has. So Jeff would provide him the free audit, and it's also a kind of first entry point to his offering, right? So of course, usually when you get the audit, then there is a high chances that the clients would hire him, right? So then here I just change the copy to the writing to, your website should be bringing you clients. Like, is it bringing you clients? Find out exactly what's holding it back and then get your free audit, right? So then there is a clearly call to action button, like just click that link. So for example, this link, right? So when you click this link, it would go to this page where you can book appointment, like get the audit, right? How we design it, same like I did in the banner. We everywhere we follow the same visual styles, the same, to make sure they feel connected, they are consistent, right? And then here I have just used those same kind of icons. So these are kind of, I downloaded these icons and made it blurred, so make sure they are not very distracted. If I open them like this, these are the two icons. I kind of flip them up, so like this, but I don't want them to be distracted, so I kind of blur it and behind that, so which that creates kind of depth. And of course, the Jeffro, I applied different drop shadows and some lighting and stuff like that, kind of, here, just to make sure it blends well with the background. Here the background, I use the same, that glass fracture effects. And then for this one, especially creating this image took me a lot of time. So what I did is, I didn't have these images. So what I did is, I went to the podcast, right? And then I click one by one video, and such as like this one. And then I go to the YouTube channel, right? His YouTube channel. And then like I just look at the people and their images, like, and then some of them I just went through their LinkedIn. I just took some screenshot and some images, and then I just kind of removed the background and everything, then just put them together. But this took me a lot of time. This one is the reason I put these his guests also. This kind of give more trust to the audience that Jeff is not just only alone in this. He genuinely invites some speakers to his podcast, so that gives that kind of like feeling, more trust for his audience, whoever visit his profile. So yeah, that was my reason to put them instead of just putting his alone picture. So and then his I put his, this is their digital dominance podcast is their name, and then I put an icon and then added this copy like what Jeff audience wants, like get found, right? They want to be found, they want their audience get some easily be found like through SEO and stuff, right? And then get trusted when you found, and then get trusted and then get hired, right? What Jeff does is that he makes a website that get you clients, get you hired, right? So that was my goal to put those here. So and then here we added a sub line text like growth strategies for his audience, which are service based owners, right? And then watch or listen to the podcast is a clear call to action. So this one here is a kind of the podcast lines, so give that feeling. The reason I added this is like I care about consistency very much. So if you look at this one, so I want it to be balanced, this part to be balanced. Then I got this idea that I could just add this one. So how I did this is basically this one is just simple one icon. If I had this one icon, I downloaded from internet, and then I kind of duplicate it, and then next here, and then again duplicate it, and then again duplicate, so kind of made that line. So and then this one gave oral that feeling. And then again for the profile picture we did some retouching and stuff like that. I use again that same background glass effect to make sure kind of the whole everything is consistent. So this is the final result. So for his LinkedIn title, I would change it from your website should be your best salesperson, which is good, but I would keep the founder at Trobro at the beginning, and then next I help service business, like, so I would change it to something like this: founder of Trobro, right? And then next I turn underperforming websites into lead generating sales tools for service businesses. Design what sells. The reason I use this is because his kind of philosophy, like the kind of framework, he knows exactly like what type of design or framework sells. So this one can clearly tell like what he does. He like more like a result based, like he generates sales, and for who, for service, like what he does and for who he does exactly, right? And founder at ProBro. I hope you enjoyed this video. This was my first ever YouTube video, and of course I would try my best to be better, to improve the quality. The overall, like, I knew the challenge I faced is I knew how to like design those kind of stuff, but like how do I package it to be a publishable video was a kind of challenging, because the overall process took me around 6-7 hours, right? So it's very hard to kind of package it in a very fast 30-40 minutes. So that was a very challenging part of me, but yeah, I think we are all learning, and I don't know what I'm saying. So this was my first ever video. I'm repeating that again, and let's see, if you subscribe, let's see where the life takes me. I hope you I hope you would join me on this journey. Thank you so much.